Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Brandon and welcome back to episode 8 of the Giants Connected Franchise Mode, where unfortunately, due to two devastating losses in our last episode, we're sitting at 8-7 with just 2 games left in this season, and we have no room for error as we're currently the 7th seed in the NFC playoff picture, and we still control our own destiny, but these 2 games are both must-wins to finish out the season to try and make the playoffs. So let's go ahead and see if we can make it happen. We start out on defense against Jimmy Garoppolo and the Rams, who find Cooper Kupp to get them near the 40-yard line, and on 1st and 10, Azeez Ojulari is able to get into the backfield and get a massive sack on Jimmy Garoppolo. On 3rd down, he can't find Cam Akers, and so we'll come out on offense and begin with a couple of runs to Saquon. On 3rd and 4, we come out empty, and Brissett finds Mecole Hardman, who is just short of the first, which brings up a 4th and inches, where we give it to Saquon, and he gets right up to the line, but they say he didn't get it, and the Rams will come back out on offense. They obviously want to make us pay for that mistake as they quickly get into the red zone, and then on the very next play, Garoppolo finds Tyler Higbee, who gets into the end zone, and just like that, the Rams are up 7-0. We know that there's no room for any mistakes in this game though if we want to keep our playoff hopes alive, so we need a drive where we march downfield and get some points as we quickly get across the 50-yard line, but on 3rd and 2, Saquon is stopped just short again to bring up a 4th and inches, but we keep the faith in him, give him the handoff, and he's able to pick up the first. On 3rd and 1, he doesn't even need 4th down to get us inside the red zone, but on another 3rd and 8, Brissett is able to thread the needle to Mike Gesicki, which helps set up a 2nd and goal, where Saquon gets the handoff and powers into the end zone as this game is tied back up at 7. The Rams come out with just over a minute before halftime, and they would love some points as Allen Robinson gets them to the 50, and Garoppolo is able to connect with Cam Akers for another first. On the next play, Cooper Kupp runs a great corner route and makes a fantastic catch to get them to the 10-yard line. And on the very next play, they go back to him, and he almost scores but is stopped just short at the 2 as the Rams use their last timeout with 16 seconds left. On the next play, Garoppolo dumps it off short again to Cam Akers, but we step up, make the tackle, and the clock will run out as we get lucky, and the score will remain 7-7 at halftime. When we came out on offense to start the second half, we began with a couple of big 3rd down conversions as we got up near the 50, and on 2nd and 5, Jacoby Brissett found Mike Gesicki, who was able to fight forward and get us down to the 22, where Saquon would take the handoff and make it 1st and goal. On 3rd and goal though, he was stopped short of the end zone as we were held to a field goal and took a 10-7 lead with just 5.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. It was then time to see if our defense could get one more stop to send us home with a win. The Rams came out throwing, and on 2nd and 6, Jimmy Garoppolo found Cooper Kupp over the middle, and he was gone, taking it all the way to the end zone as the Rams took a 14-10 lead late in the 4th. So out came Saquon and Brissett, knowing that we needed a touchdown to keep our playoff hopes alive. It started out with a nice pass to Mike Gesicki, and on 3rd and 2, Saquon was met at the line and stopped just short of a first, meaning that we would need to go for it again on 4th down. We came out looking to run as Brissett handed it off to Saquon, who was able to pick up the 1st down and keep this drive alive. On 3rd and 1, he got another handoff and was able to pick up a first on the ground and then through the air as he was able to get us inside the red zone. On 2nd and 10, Brissett came out looking to throw and launched a sketchy pass, but there was a flag on the play, which turned out to be pass interference on the defense, and we were lucky to have that end in 1st and goal, where we handed it off to Saquon, but he was stopped short of the end zone at the 3-yard line, and on 2nd and goal, we went right back to him as he got into the end zone, and we took the lead with less than 40 seconds left to go in the game. So if our defense could get one final stop, we would win. The Rams came out throwing it short to Cooper Kupp as they needed to get to just the 40-yard line as Cameron Dicker had made a 57-yarder before. Garoppolo then found Akers short, who had a couple of moves to pick up some extra yards, and with just 21 seconds left, Cooper Kupp was able to spin down to the 41, where the Rams would call their final timeout with 11 seconds left to bring out the field goal unit. It would be a career-long 58-yarder for Dicker the kicker. It was a good snap, a good hold, but the kick was wide right, no good, and that is your ball game. The Giants beat the Rams by a final score of 17-14 in what was really a sloppy and ugly win, but as always, a win is a win. Saquon had both of our touchdowns today through the ground game, and we advanced to 9-7 with just one game left in the season. So as we enter the final week of the regular season, we're sitting in the 6th spot for the NFC playoff picture, and all that we have to do to guarantee ourselves a spot in the playoffs is win this week against the 8-8 Dallas Cowboys. Now, unfortunately, the user who was controlling the Cowboys ended up dropping out of the league, so this is just going to be a CPU game, but let's see if it can go smoother than our game against the Rams, and we can lock ourselves into the playoffs. We begin on offense and start moving the ball down the field with a nice pass to Mike Gesicki, and then a handoff to Saquon, who gets us inside the 30. He stopped short of the first on 2nd down though, and on 3rd down, this ball is incomplete as we're forced to take a field goal and go up 3-0 to start. Then the Cowboys come out on offense where Dak Prescott finds CeeDee Lamb to start, but on 2nd and 8, it's Azeez Ojulari who gets in the backfield quickly on the screen and comes up with a big sack. So on 3rd and 17, Dak Prescott lobs up a prayer which is picked off by Desmond King II to put us back on offense. We came out looking to capitalize on the turnover, and our passing game was working quickly, with Saquon having a nice catch and run here to get inside the 10, and then just 2 plays later, taking the handoff and going into the end zone, which made our lead 10-0. The Cowboys then had just over 2 minutes to put together a drive before half, and they were pretty quickly across midfield. On 3rd and 1, Ezekiel Elliott was stopped short of the first, but they decided to go for it on 4th and 3, where Zeke got the handoff, broke a tackle, and had a good run all the way down to the 21. On 3rd and 5 though, CeeDee Lamb was tackled short of the first, and the Cowboys took a field goal to make our lead 10-3. We decided to try and get some points before halftime as Jacoby Brissett threw this one, but Mike Gesicki couldn't locate it as it turned into a pick, and we basically gave the Cowboys 3 free points right before half. When the Cowboys came back out for the second half, they were determined to get their running backs involved, as Zeke had a good run there and Tony Pollard threw off Xavier McKinney on this catch and run. And then they went back to Zeke, who had a good run outside, was able to break a tackle and get them all the way down to the 13. Then on 3rd and 1, Dak Prescott was looking in the pocket, but we had everything covered as Kayvon Thibodeau got in the backfield for a sack, and the Cowboys took a field goal. Our next drive was critical, and on 1st and 10, Jacoby Brissett was absolutely dumped by Micah Parsons. But on the first play of the 4th quarter, Brissett found Mecole Hardman down the middle, who was able to make it a manageable 3rd and 6, where Brissett looked over the middle for Gesicki, but it instead was somehow picked off by Trayvon Diggs, and the Cowboys were basically in field goal range to start their next drive. Prescott came out looking to throw and started rolling right, but was pressured and sacked by Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau, who was having a monster day. Then on 3rd and 15, he stood in the pocket, decided to step up and run, and he slid at the 40-yard line, which brought out Matt Gay for a 57-yard field goal to put them in the lead. I almost blocked it, but it didn't matter anyway, as it went wide right, and we had a chance to end the game on our terms. We knew that we absolutely couldn't give the ball back to the Cowboys, but on 2nd and 11, Brissett was pressured and threw an incompletion, which meant we would need to convert this 3rd and 11, where Brissett looked over the middle and threw an absolutely perfect pass to Mecole Hardman, who had it for the first as we got to the 2-minute warning. We gave it to Saquon a couple of final times, and even though he was stopped short here on 3rd down, it didn't matter because we were able to let the clock run out, and that is your ball game. The Giants beat the Cowboys by a final score of 10-9, in what really was a sloppier game than we were hoping for, but it doesn't matter because we got the job done to win and improve to 10-7 on the season, and we would be going to the playoffs. That's all I have for you guys in this episode, and I will see you in the wild card round.